Well, right now we are on the phone with head coach of the SFA men's basketball team, Coach Kyle Keller. And Coach, I know a lot of people are using the word unprecedented, but I think that's the best word that describes the situation that we are in right now due to the coronavirus. Now that you and your team have had a couple of days to kind of process and take everything in, first off, what are your thoughts on the state that sports are in right now?
Well, sports has always brought people together, and you're right. I mean, it's a very unique situation for us, and in our household, we're watching a lot of Bravo TV this weekend. It wasn't a lot of fun for us, but it's been different because I think sports brings people together, and now we're not, because of the unfortunate situation, we're not getting to see that now.
Coach, I know you guys were headed to Katy when you first found out that the Southland Conference was having limited fans at the tournament. A day later, we find out that there will be no Southland Conference Tournament. Can you just take me through what that moment was like for your team when you guys found out that the season was ultimately ending?
Yeah, it was a very, very surreal moment, really, to be honest with you. We were just walking into the weight room at Katy High School, and my athletic director, Ryan Ivey, called and said, hey, the tournament's been canceled. And really at breakfast that morning with the NBA shutting down, felt like that from the night before, we probably weren't going to play. It was just going that way. And then as conferences started canceling the tournament, as we were heading down into the lobby in the locker in the elevator, it was going that direction, and then it didn't get any better.
What were some of the initial reactions from your guys, especially from those three seniors, as you mentioned? I know when I was speaking with Kevon Harris a couple of weeks ago, he said he came back to SFA to try to help you guys make a run in the NCAA tournament. So what were some of their initial reactions?
Sad. I mean, dealing with, student athletes 18 to 22, it's hard to put in perspective because they're a resilient group, but at the same time, they're also living in the moment. And it's tough for them to understand what's going on globally because it really hadn't affected us like it is today, sitting here on Monday, Monday morning, what's going on around this world. And it was just tough for them to understand what's really happening and why they couldn't play, why they couldn't continue to compete, and what the ramifications of putting themselves in danger, because most of the information that we have for someone that's in pretty good shape like they are, and at the age they are, mortality rate's not very high. But for others like Wade Mason on our staff, who's had, 10, 11 chemo treatments and his immunity system's not very high, that's a really, really dangerous virus that's going on. And you got to think about others. And I think once our guys realized they started getting in their unselfish thoughts, there's no way they wanted to play in the NCAA tournament. There's no way they wanted to put people in danger. And then they start being who they are, and they understood why we couldn't play, and I think they were really pleased with what they accomplished and what had gone on, and then it's time to get on with their lives.
As a coach and a leader, what's been your message to your guys during this time of unknown? How do you handle an abrupt ending to something?
That's a great question. There is no handbook for this.
Right.
I think as coaches, we talk to each other and try to figure out what we do, and have talked to numerous coaches around the country. And hey, do you want your kids here? Do you want them to go home and be around their families in isolation? And because as a coach, you want to protect your team. I mean, that's they are our children here, and you want to protect them the best you can. But you want them to live life, but you don't want them to be in danger anyway, and that's a hard balancing act.
How do you think a situation like this will interfere with preparations for next season, especially from a recruiting aspect?
Definitely affecting us in a lot of areas. I mean, we're kind of stuck here and don't really know what's next. Like I said, there is no handbook, but we're all on the same level playing field. For us, we've got our scholarships filled for this year, and we'll know who our team is right now. So I don't think we're behind as far as SFA, so I think our fans should be pretty confident in what team we have coming back. We're in better shape than most people.
Coach, since there are no sports right now, what have the guys been up to?
Well, if they're like, we just met with a few of them. I think they're doing some of the same things that we are. They're playing video games. My kids have been playing video games, and we're playing board. I hadn't played board games in a long time. We played board games with my family. I offer them the opportunity to come work at my house if they want to come work at my house and
do some yard work.
Some of the things that I neglected. A lot of yard work, no question. My garage will be cleaner than it's ever been. There's a lot of downtime. They told me they were in the gym last night till about 3 a.m. shooting. They're pretty bored, so no weight room right now. But they have been getting some shots up since we've gotten back.
Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us today.
All right, Tina. Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.